We gotta go live because Cliff Dog's in the building. I
Cliff
haven't seen him in a
Dog.
while. Yeah, Cliff Dog, one of our greatest supporters of the Pedro and Hannibal podcast, a YouTube channel. Pedro was late, but I held it down.
I was
Actually,
late.
I was late with the link. I was late with the most important information, but we're here right now, and
We're here.
we have a lot to talk about. Some stuff that we weren't able to talk about in the last show. We're going to talk about the Cleopatra. I don't know how it's a documentary if it's dramatically like shot, meaning there's actress. I don't
Right.
understand. I never heard that until now, but it was supposed to be a documentary, and people are really mad about it. So we're going to talk about that as well, and also obviously the NBA playoffs. Last episode, Pedro. He
Tell it. Tell it. Go
basically,
ahead.
well,
Go
I'm
ahead. Go
just
ahead.
setting the stage for you, and then you're able
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
respond.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pedro said Lakers are going to win game one. LeBron was going to be hit 50 points.
Never
He
said
was
that.
going. You didn't say
No.
that.
No.
Okay. Well, regardless, that Joker had nothing for this. It was he wasn't going to do a damn thing.
Oh,
He was going to
I
get
said,
destroyed. AD was
yeah.
going to just dunk on him. And I mean, what happened, Pedro? Like your prediction went. Like,
Yeah.
Who won the game? Actually,
the Nuggets won. The Nuggets won. They were up 21 at one point. The Lakers made it a 3-point game. I thought it was a great game.
Yes.
Back and forth, good second half. AD played about as good as you can play. Joker played better. Joker was, Denver got off to a hot start. And LeBron and Austin Reeves and AD and the guys played well enough to win. I'll say this. Denver won. They deserved to win. But LA exposed Denver in some areas on the offensive end. Denver's very weak on defense, interior. And I still like Lakers in the series. I do. But Denver, listen, they look good, man. Yeah. Their offense is clicking. The Joker's legit. It's going to be a good series. I'm looking forward to. I think both of these series, the one playing tonight, Miami and Boston. I think both of these could go 7 games. So I think I'm excited about the NBA playoffs. I think it's good. It's good.
Okay, so Joker, he had a triple double, 34 points, 21 rebounds, and 14 assists.
Yeah, crazy, man.
The shots he was taking and making, to a point, AD just looked at him and laughed. That one,
that was funny.
With 30,
yeah,
and he's like, all right. That shot went in. I thought to myself, they're not going to win that game. No. Lakers are not going to win. When a shot is hitting like that for you and you're at home, you're not going to win. But yeah, I'll give it to you. They did come back. LeBron had 26 points, but it felt like it wasn't very dominant or very.
It was a quiet 26.
It was a quiet 26, yeah. And I don't know. I mean, the Lakers had a small lineup, and the rebounds. They got out rebounded.
They did,
and of course, playoffs when it's a 7-game series, you're able to do some adjustments. They're gonna have to do some adjustments. Joker, if he's gonna hit, he's gonna get 21 rebounds, man.
That's a problem.
You're not gonna win, man.
That's a problem. But his stats are fantastic. But in the fourth quarter, he shrunk. He didn't do anything in the fourth quarter. So for me, I think the Lakers made really good adjustments. I think Denver came out strong. Lakers adjusted in that third quarter, more so in the fourth. They outscored Denver in the second half. So for me, I think the Lakers, they're going to be fine. They got to win the game too. They have to, and I think they will. But I said it about game one. Who knows? But at the end of the day, it's good basketball. I enjoy watching it. It's fun, man. There's a lot of superstars in this league, and they play at a high level in the playoffs, and that's what you need. That's what you want. And I think we're getting there right now. So,
well, I guess we can't really give a lot of shit to Jokic for his ability. That was a good game, man. You're the Western Conference Finals, and you're doing triple doubles, and we can't. I understand. Listen, I'm talking about us brothers right here. We look at Joker and like, how this pudgy dude balling on us? This is ball. Joel Embiid, he should be the MVP, and this is a Steve Nash situation. Remember Kenneth Perkins with all of his nonsense he was saying? That dude can play, man.
Listen,
he can play. Also Steve Nash, he deserved one of those MVPs. I'm not saying
Steve Nash could play too. Yeah,
but Joe, that he's a different level, man.
I think sometimes in basketball we have this thing of like a superstar or somebody should look a certain way when they're going to play a basketball. I've run into this countless times in a YMCA gym or Crondelet Park gym. You show up and it's like this motherfucker can't play. Like, look at him, look at him. He looks crazy. Like I've thought about that when I looked at certain dudes. Look at this guy. Look at this bum. Look at his shorts look weird. Look at his shoes. And he goes out there, he's just balling on you, right? Like it's very in basketball. It's almost like you got to have a look and you got to be a certain size and you can't
look
be
at
floppy.
LeBron's body compared
Exactly.
to
But
Joker's body.
Joker's in shape. He's running the fast breaks. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
he was a swimmer at one point. I think growing up as a kid, he's in shape. So it's just because you look one way doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to ball out. So I think it's fun. But yeah, you look at certain like pictures of him as a kid growing up. He's like chubby and he's got the fat rolls, and now he's 2-time NBA MVP, doing things that's never been done.
Yeah.
Before. So I think it's fun. It's good.
Yeah, I just want to throw it out there because the MVP race it got weird, throwing out certain things like Joker was getting some preferential treatment. Why?
Mm-hmm.
He's in Denver. I mean, I don't know if Denver is like the huge spot for it in the NBA, but come on, the dude can ball. He can ball, and it's great that it happens in the playoffs where there's less teams, so it's more attention to the players.
Mm-hmm.
High basketball IQ. He's a point center. I don't even know what the hell. Like he's in the middle of the floor, orchestrating stuff, and I think it's still confusing to the players. Like, what the hell is? Then by the time you figure it out, he passed the ball to Murray, or something like that.
He's so big that his passing is in the pockets of a shooter where they could receive it and be in rhythm. So his timing, he's usually the tallest guy on the court, so he can see over everybody, right? His passes, that's why they dictate a lot of the offense through him. But it was a good game yesterday, even with them being down 18-21. I was like, Lakers, if they can get this to 10,
you did
they
say
can get it to 6, and they got it to that point, and when Austin Reeves hit the 3 to go down 3 points and there was like 2 minutes to go, I said Lakers win this game. LeBron comes up, 50 seconds left. They're down 3. Lakers have the ball. Jamal Murray, a significantly smaller defender, had 5 fouls at the time. LeBron's been dogging him on the defensive end all night long, right?
Yeah.
LeBron tries to do an MJ and go for the 3, and he's or Steph Curry and go for the 3, try and tie the game, when all he had to do was either back him down, post him up, drive on Jamal Murray. Probably going to get fouled. Maybe you make it, then you're on an and one. You can tie the game the old school way. LeBron James throwing up the 3 the way he did, I thought was one mistake he made of the night.
That happens often, though. Sometimes he thinks he's a jump shooter, and we all know he's still probably the best driver of the basketball. And the dude will try to pop the 3, as like you said, he's Jordan. Yes, Jordan did eventually gain a 3-point shot, but Jordan's gonna drive that ball. He's gonna drive the ball. Because he wasn't afraid to shoot free throws compared to LeBron, which I know that's a big thing.
And LeBron missed 2 free throws in the fourth quarter that were timely, and so it's tough. They could have won that game, and I think they know that. And I don't expect Denver to go out to the great start that they had in game 2. So I think it's going to be a little more close throughout the game. There'll be runs. Either team could be up 10 or 12 at one point, but in the NBA, when you're up 10, 12 points. When you're up 21, as we saw yesterday, it's not a big deal because a couple stops, a couple threes, you're right back in the game. So,
right now the Heat is winning 91-85. 2:32 in the third quarter. So, like I said, it's going to be a back and forth one. I still think that the Celtics should win that series. I think definitely the Denver and Lakers. I feel like whoever gets out of this probably is going to win.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I know it was a great game. I don't know. There's a lot of defense being played. We're not supposed to see 132 to 1. Like, I look at the score. I'm like, who's playing defense here?
Yeah.
What's going on? So, I would hope that the team from the East wins, because I feel like they will play a little bit more defense or something. I don't know. That was always the thing with the East Coast teams. Play a little bit more defense, and the West Coast were more like free flowing offense. But like you said, or you are predicting Lakers in game two, right?
Boston. I'm predicting Lakers to win game 2. Yeah. I
Okay.
thought either way, they were going to split the first 2 games in Denver. So I thought the Lakers would win game 1, Denver would win game 2. I still think it's going to be series tied 1-1 going to LA. I think that's what it's going to be. So
I don't know. I mean, think about
neither
it.
do I, but
AD played as
good.
Like,
Well,
is he gonna hit?
yeah.
Is he gonna hit? You gonna average 40?
No, but
No,
the
right?
one thing the difference for me is like the rebounding, right? So he had 10 boards, but Joker had 20, whatever. So if you just take 5 of those boards away from Joker on the, in first quarter, and if AD gets some of those, is what I'm saying. It's a very different game, right? So I think the Lakers got to get better at rebounding. I think they're gonna win game 2. I don't see them going down 2-0. So.
I think when the best passer is also the best rebounder, that's a problem.
And the best scorer. Well, yeah.
But with the way he was throwing the ball, it got to a point like, this is ridiculous. This is some video game shit.
Yeah, it was crazy.
From this chubby dude over here, from wherever he's from, Serbia.
Serbia.
Serbia. I said Serbia. I think they're gonna have to figure out the lineup. I think the Lakers lineup is too small. I think they bring in Rory in there. He's more physical presence.
Yeah,
athletic. He had a couple of good drives to basketball.
Oh, he can score too. So
bring him in. That should help, because I don't know. LeBron is, like I said, he's fantastic for his age, but he is, our age right at this point, right? Still doing it. But and AD can do all that AD can do. But I think if you throw him in the lineup, get some more athleticism, compete with the boards, then I think it's possible. Daniel says 2-0 going to LA.
I mean, I could see it, but I could see it. Anything's possible. I mean, the Nuggets went up 2-0 on the Phoenix Suns, and Phoenix Suns won the next 2 games, and then the Nuggets won the next 2. So, it's a make or miss league. I mean, the Nuggets hit the one thing. I watched a lot of basketball. Okay, the one thing when I was watching that game yesterday, the Nuggets played on a lot of emotion. They got the crowd behind them. Denver's got a great crowd. They play at a really good pace. Their offense is great. They're number 1 ranked offense in the playoffs. Lakers have the number 1 ranked defense. So it's like you have this defense meeting offense. But Nuggets were hitting crazy threes. Jamal Murray had Joker had a buzzer beater at the end of the third quarter, right?
Third quarter, yeah.
And then you had Jamal Murray had one that was crazy. Porter had one in the corner, a couple in the corner, like shots like when the shot clock's winding down, fadeaways, like things that aren't normal.
Back-breaking.
Yes,
right?
Things that aren't normal. So now I'm not saying if you take those shots away, of course the game's different, but those kind of shots aren't sustainable over the course of a series.
Yep.
And the LA Lakers had a lot of open shots, dictated a lot of offense from the post, from LeBron kicking it out, decent points in the paint from Anthony Davis. They didn't have any crazy shots, right? The Lakers had overall pretty good offense, actually. They just sucked in the first half. So I really believe it's going to be series tied up, and I think the LA is going to win the series. So,
well, we'll see. Right now, the end of the third quarter, Heat 102, Celtics 91. What the hell is going on?
11 points. Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Right,
that's like a 20 point.
All right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Tatum's going to wake up. Hopefully, or he's going to go down one game, and we're really going to do Heat LA again.
It could be. That's the bubble. What do they call that? The Disney Walt Disney Championship or something? Yeah, Mickey Mouse Championship.
But we call it a bubble, and it's very derogatory. Bubble, We say that, the bubble ring. He got the bubble ring. After the 4 teams that came in, that talk is over. And Butler smashed Rachel Nichols. All these things are true. Like, no more bull crap. It happened. These teams are legit. So
Jimmy Butler's a dog, man. On and off the court. I like Jimmy Butler. I like him.
Who doesn't?
I like him even more.
Yeah, and he may be Michael Jordan's illegitimate son.
I think he probably is.
He looks just like him, though.
He looks like
he don't play like him. He got his instinct, but I don't see Jimmy and like, oh, that looks like MJ. But physically, I want to check the points out real quick before we move. Butler got 27 right now. So he
had a good third quarter. Yeah. Well, Tatum probably has 20 something.
Yeah, Tatum got 22, but a point differential, which I start to understand how that is really important. I don't want to be like a stats nerd, but Jimmy Butler's plus 10 and Tatum is minus 11.
Really?
So yeah. So I mean, obviously Butler is more impactful, right? Like if he doesn't do anything, what they got? Kevin Love.
They got Kevin Love. They got Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry had a good first half. He had like a run. He scored like 10 in a row or something. Kyle Lowry's he's a championship ball player. He's coming off the bench. Yeah. So he's leading that second unit when Butler's on the sideline. So the Heat, man, they're legit. They're an 8 seed, but they're not like an 8 seed. They're not playing like an 8 seed. They got Eric Spoelstra. Like the Heat have been there just a couple years ago. So it's going to be a tough out, but I'm still going LA and Boston, man. I think overall they're better teams and they're deeper teams. So
yeah. Daniel says, you guys are going to miss the championship parade here in Denver. That'll be, yeah. We're planning to go to Denver, but we won't be there for that. Unfortunately, we'll just be like, we'll just see some of the stuff on the ground maybe at that point. It'll probably be cleaned up by that time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we won't be there, but we will be for something else that happens. Hopefully something. Oh, there is something important happening in August for us to be going to Denver. But all right. So we saw the news that happened yesterday. And I think
you think give me your take on it.
So me, I thought you were with me too. All right. Well, the official Pedro and Hannibal stance on the NBA draft is rigged. Rigged.
I think it's
how in the hell the Spurs get 3 life-changing, transformative draft picks in the last 30 years. BS is bull. We all know it's happening. They find ways like, hey, what team or what place does this transformer player need to go, right? Put him in the Spurs. Papa, he knows how to handle foreign players.
The French players.
He had the French player. He had the guy from the Virgin Islands. All of a sudden, he gets another one. All right, now I have no proof.
Nobody does, but
I have no proof of this happening.
I think it's funny. A guy from New York says the NBA draft is rigged.
I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
Patrick Ewing.
Who? Well, he played for the Knicks.
He played for the Knicks. He's pretty good player. And LeBron went to Cleveland.
Hold on a second. Yeah, Mr. 2008 Chicago Bulls. How? Now, you remember what chances the Bulls had to get
I have no idea.
I looked it up, sir. Now, it could be wrong because it's internet, but they said...
You talking about Derrick Rose?
Yes.
Oh,
they said the Bulls had 1.7% chance of landing the first pick. And they got the hometown hero, Derrick Rose. Come on.
So I think I think this can go either way. So I'm gonna play both sides here. So do I think it's rigged? It's possible. There's been, a lot of other things have happened. Elections, horse racing, boxing, it happens. Okay. Victor Wembanyama, like going to the best franchise in the NBA that could handle this situation is clearly the Spurs. Boris Diaw, Tony Parker. They had another guy from France that played there. Then you had Manu Ginobili, Tim Duncan. Like they have a history of multiple people coming in from overseas. They're, and they know how to handle that. And they're, a great organization. And they've been struggling the last few years, right? Ever since Duncan retired, they really haven't done anything, like nothing. So, the NBA might want to get Spurs looking good again. Let's give Victor the pop. Let's see what they could do. Yeah. He's the hype on this kid is, LeBron had hype being 16 or 17 on the cover of Sports Illustrated, but this kid's like, they're saying he's already in the Hall of Fame, basically. Like he's the unicorn, never been done before. He's 7, whatever. He does everything.
We did see him play though.
Yeah, a lot of pressure.
Play, and he looked pretty good.
He does.
From what I saw. He just looks very, very skinny.
Very skinny. But you know what, though? Kevin Durant was super skinny coming into the league. Kevin Garnett was super skinny. He
looks extra skinny because he's so tall.
Because he's tall, looks, I think.
Like, what's the other guy who got drafted? Didn't even play a game because he snapped his little twiggy ankle.
Chet Holmgren or whatever?
Like, bony
he looks
people,
like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, Durant, he couldn't even lift. I forgot. He didn't. But there's some durability there, but also there's some injuries with his ankle over the time. So I saw a few little games from Victor. The dude can play, man.
He can ball, and it looks
weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
He can ball.
San Antonio should be happy. Whatever they did, the rigged, from what I understand, the ones back in the day, I remember they used to have the balls in the little thing, and the guy would pick a ball out, and it seemed more legit that way, right? Because it's like, okay, the balls are mixing up, and somebody picks
it's
the
hard
thing out
to,
or
to
shoot.
try. I mean, you can still do it.
Now
But
it's a guy behind a podium, and they just talk. They have a card in their hand, so clearly,
envelope
they could
thing,
envelope and just stack them a certain way. But it's going to be interesting. A lot of pressure on this kid, though. A lot of pressure, man. A lot of pressure.
He's foreign. I feel like foreign players are just a little bit more mature than Americans. I don't know if they like in America we get a little bit too amped up sometimes about certain things, and the social media. I don't know how strong it is. I'm sure it's strong worldwide, but like I think LeBron dealt with it the best way possible. Like he was, like you said, the guy wasn't even 20 yet. He was the second coming. He was the greatest prospect that ever. Yeah. And now people are saying Victor's even a better or a bigger prospect. Like he, so that's a lot to take in. And also that's why I feel like it's rigged, because he went to the one place that can handle, like I said, handle him, understand him. Tony Parker is cheering. What, did he have something to do with it? I don't know. I have no proof. I mean, I'm just bullshitting.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I've seen pictures of a young Victor with like a Tony Parker jersey on. They're from France, and so like it just seems too perfect. But we'll see if he's. The NBA has so many superstars. I can't remember a time where there was this many. Now listen, the golden age, the '80s, Magic Bird, but there's 20 guys that are legit, really, really, really good. And then you have young guys coming in that are really, 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 really good still. So NBA's left in a good spot. We're going to have in the next, we'll call it 5 years, LeBron ain't going to be playing anymore. Steph might not be playing anymore, right? But you still have a lot of young guys. You got Luka and Ja, and you got this kid and many others. So it's in Zion, if you could stop eating cheeseburgers. Like the NBA is going to be in a good spot. But do I think it's rigged? 50-50, man. I honestly, I think I would not be surprised, because it seems too perfect. Because if anything, send them to like Charlotte or Houston. Those franchises.
He's supposed to go to Houston.
Suck.
Houston, I think, had the strongest chances.
Detroit,
he would have been fine. He would have been fine. They got Ime Udoka as a coach. He would have been fine over there. I mean, he probably would have worked him, because defense is a big deal for him. But all right, so I'm just bullshitting. I don't have proof. And usually I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, because usually in conspiracy, someone has to snitch. Someone has to drop the dime. Someone has to be the whistleblower, right? Like I don't care about the whole, did the whole Mars landing? Yeah, I believe we probably did, because someone should have said something.
You think you think we landed on Mars?
Not Mars, the moon, whatever.
The moon?
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
Someone would have came out and said it was rigged. Someone, because the problem is, about conspiracy, sometimes we give too much credit to the people who are setting up. We think they're like geniuses.
Yeah.
They're just average intelligence, just dumb as us, make mistakes. We tell someone, say, shh, they go snitch. Like something should have happened decades to say, hey, no, that didn't happen. But nothing.
Do you think the Oswald guy, you think he was the only shooter that shot JFK? I don't.
No, he definitely wasn't the only one.
Yeah.
Definitely not. But I will say that it maybe there's some organizations that are just been sniping people out and keep things in a hush. Maybe it's possible.
It's possible.
But there's some NBA stuff that's a little weird. So the examples I've seen, yes, in 1985 when I was 1 year old, the New York Knicks had a 1985 NBA draft lottery. The Knicks had 14.3% chance.
Like,
these projections are ridiculous. That's bad.
Yeah.
If someone shot from the field 14% from the field, how many shots?
Yeah, but I don't think 14 is bad, because I think it's between the 14 teams. So like you'll have a couple teams that'll have 14%, a team that has 8, 9, a team that has 1%. So like yesterday, I think the top 3 or 4 teams, like the Pistons, Rockets, and another team, I think they all had like 12 or 13% chance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, the Knicks, and I bring that one up. But
yeah, they had a theory. It was called the frozen envelope theory.
Yes.
Now, again, who knows? I mean, maybe it's the NBA, like the CIA. They're just sniping out anyone that has the truth. They just, never see them again.
Yeah.
So apparently they suggested that the Knicks envelope was chilled
So
so
they
it can
can
be
touch it.
identified by
Yeah.
a touch. Because New York Knicks, obviously, the Mecca, you have one of the best centers ever played.
Yeah.
I love Patrick Ewing from Jamaica.
Let me
so,
ask you a question. Is Patrick Ewing a top 10 center all time? Hot take. Is he? Let's go down the list of centers real quick.
I'm trying to think, right?
Okay. So is he better than Kareem? No.
No.
Better than Wilt?
No.
Bill Russell?
No.
Hakeem Olajuwon?
That's his contemporary.
Ooh.
But I feel like Akeem usually got the. I mean,
He's
obviously
better.
he beat
He's
him, so he got the best of him.
Shaquille O'Neal.
No.
David Robinson. Maybe that's pretty close.
That's close, but David was.
Is he better than Joker? Nikola Jokic? No.
No. He's top 20.
How
dare you, Gigaholic Rex? He didn't always choke. He choked sometimes.
Ooh, that's
that one with the Pacers, and he went on. Oh, he was wide open.
Yeah, I remember
he does a finger roll and misses.
I remember that.
He could have done, but he couldn't dunk the ball because he had no knees. Pedro.
He did.
He had the biggest knee braces on. He had no lift.
He had those like bright blue knee pad. And listen, I still love him though. I love seeing him at the foul line. When I think of Patrick Ewing, I see him at the foul line just sweating. That's my Patrick Ewing, man. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I still remember the announcement. Yeah, so he's definitely not top 10, definitely top 20 Hall of Famer.
Oh,
but yeah,
no doubt.
He did the most he possibly could with the Knicks and what we had. So definitely top 20. And yeah, that probably was rigged too for the Knicks. Let me see. There's other examples I looked up real quick. So yeah, Chicago Bulls and Derrick Rose. Someone looked this up, but they said the Bulls. There's no way the Bulls had that little of a chance, and they won the lottery to pick their hometown hero.
Yeah,
that sounds like that is rigged. It stinks of riggedness if that's true. And then 2012, New Orleans Hornets and Anthony Davis. Remember, the Hornets was recently bought by the NBA.
Yeah,
because the owner, previous owners, after everything up, and they won the lottery, and they won. The NBA who owned the team won the lottery and got Anthony Davis. What do you think about that?
And he was coming out.
He was legit. He was a beast.
Right out of a championship. Legit. Yeah.
Unibrow, remember?
it could be, but I also think there's probably just as many or about as many cases where it went the other way. Like a really good superstar went to a trash team. Or maybe, I don't know. Yeah. There's been some number one pick busts. So LeBron went to Cleveland, which is like, okay, it is what it is.
Yeah, but I'm talking about generational talents.
Yeah.
Not because there's been quite a few like Anthony Burnett. Yeah, no one cares about that. So the rig machine don't turn on for Anthony Burnett.
But like a Victor guy, it's like this.
He's going to Spurs. He got to go to Spurs. Because we need him to thrive. We need him to make sure he's good, right? Again, I'm just talking shit. Let me announce this. I'm just talking. I have no idea. Maybe
I think Hannibal knows. I think he's just saying he doesn't know, but clearly he's passionate enough that he.
Well, if you don't see me on Monday, then I knew something because I would be gone. And he knows too much. First of all, go on YouTube. There are tons of NBA rigged content. Maybe I'm watching too much of it. It's possible.
Yeah, and it's easy to go down that rabbit hole. It's super easy to go down. You watch a couple of YouTube things and you read a couple of Reddit forum posts. It's like, oh shit, yeah.
I got everything. It's all done.
Maybe nobody did land on the moon. That flag ain't moving right. The footprint don't look right. Why haven't we been back since? I've watched some of that shit.
Yes, you can fall. I mean, even the 9/11 nonsense, man.
It's there. How that building fall like that? That doesn't make any sense.
It's a control.
One bomb expert that's like, no, that had multiple
jet
bombs,
fuel. Yeah, jet fuel don't burn down, don't melt.
If you listen to enough of something, you can be convinced one way or the other.
Yeah.
Right. You just can because you can make a convincing point. So is the NBA rigged? Maybe. At the end of the day, I don't care. If this Victor kid comes in and he's playing his balls out and he's playing good and he's great. That's great for the NBA. The Spurs are the good franchise for him to be on. Would I have liked him to be on the Bulls? Sure, I want the Bulls to get the number one pick because that's my hometown team. But he's probably going to be better off at the Spurs. He's probably a better situation for him, and he's a young kid. Of course, so that's good.
I mean, he went to the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, they don't even. I mean, Jordan trying to sell the team. Now, would he have sold it? Would he go back on it if he had Victor? You probably hold on a second. I don't want to sell my team.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just seems a little peculiar, but maybe not. Like I think a lot sometimes conspiracy theories, what they do, especially a lot of the wackos, they take small bits of information. Actually, what I'm doing right now, taking small bits of information, forgetting everything else, and then crafting it together to create a narrative that may sound somewhat convincing. Because I named 3 situations that maybe okay. Another one, 1992, Shaquille O'Neal, right? So Orlando Magic had the second worst record in the league, right?
Yeah.
But they won a lottery, right? They had Shaquille O'Neal. The following year, having the best record of all the lottery teams, Magic won the lottery again. Like, how's that?
Yeah.
How you win 2 lotteries, man? But it could just be coincidence. Sometimes
it could.
We want something more like a movie to be happening, right? Like there's players involved and it's all a bunch of sneakiness, and it could just be random occurrences, but we think it's something more special. So,
and you got a comment. Matt Shopper says, "I feel like most American sports are scripted."
A lot of people feel about that with the NFL. A lot of NFL.
I completely disagree with you. I think there's too many things that happen, especially even in basketball and the NBA within the game. I just don't believe that. It's not scripted. Like people are like, oh, Tom Brady was going to win with the Buccaneers. Do you know how many things have to happen? Like there's another team playing. That means both teams have to be in on it. And come on, I just don't. Yeah. I don't believe.
But with the NBA, they had some issues with the Tim Donaghy.
They had the one guy, but
James Harden plays so bad. Did he throw that game?
I mean,
he was Pedro. He was he was passing the ball, and it was like, what were you doing?
No,
you didn't see James Harden play that last game.
Did he so you're saying the first game when he dropped 45 and hit the 3, he's like, oh, they told him to do that, and then they said, you know what, James, we know you have all the money in the world. We're gonna give you more. Or we're gonna, I just
we're gonna fire Doc Rivers. You don't like him for some reason.
I think in team sports, right? If we think about like the White Sox scandal, Black Sox, White Sox, back in 1903, I think it was, the World Series. Yeah. These guys paid the players off. Shoeless Joe Jackson was the one guy. It's like, I'm not taking any money. He batted like 500 for the series. They still lost, but he played really well. He's like, I'm not taking your money. So like clearly, there's been times in history, horse racing is notorious for it, boxing, but typically it's the singular sports, like when it's one person, right? Like you could get a team, you'd have to get the whole team involved, right? And it's not happening in these days.
I would counter that with the Astros situation. That was just straight up cheating to win, but
that's different. That's them cheating. I think that's different, but
yeah. The only cheating scandal that I've heard was that happened in China. I think a bunch of former NBA players went over there and threw a game or something like that. You heard about that?
I didn't hear about that one. No.
Yeah. A bunch of, I forgot the name of it. What was it? Look at that China basketball scandal. Yao Ming was mad at these. He's like, what the hell you guys are doing? Throwing games or something like that. I forgot.
Really?
Let me see if I remember the players who threw games or something like that. Let me see. Let me do it real quick.
I mean, I could see it. I mean, Shopper said in American sports, if anything, it's probably more rigged in places like China and Brazil and Colombia and like
because the more money you can pay, the more money they're gonna get. So that's the whole idea of corruption. So according to the USA Today, the Sharks have former NBA players Eric Bledsoe, Jamal Franklin, and Johnny O'Brien. I don't know who that person is.
I know Eric Bledsoe. I know.
Yeah, I know Eric Bledsoe. Yeah. Apparently they were. Yeah, they all got banned for 5. Yeah, they got banned. I guess they were in a playoff tournament, and it looked like they were.
Were they doing? Was it point shaving? Because I know that was a big thing in college basketball, to where they would set a points line and they get with certain players and just make sure when the game's tight, don't miss a free throw or do this or foul or like I know the point shaving thing was really big.
They said it appears that one of the teams threw the game. Like it's just there was supposed to be a playoff berth, and then someone mounted a comeback. It just looked like they threw the game. So yeah,
I mean it happens.
American sports I think it's a little bit more like you're getting paid. You're gonna get the money and the fame, and that's more important than you just throwing the game. Unless you're in a really bad financial situation. And it's all effed up. So
Yeah. I mean, listen, if I'm broke or my kid needs a liver, like if something's going on, yeah, I don't know how I would react if somebody gave me a bag of 50,000. It's like, hey, don't score 30 tonight like you usually do. I need you to score 20. And then, that 10-point difference a lot of times is going to lean in the favor of a sports betting line. Like, don't shoot as much, or you go to the free throw line, I need you to intentionally miss a couple. Like, those things happen. I mean, they do happen. Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll see. I mean, right now, I'll just have my conspiracy hat going on. I think it just seems maybe it's probably nothing but just unexpected outcomes. It's random. It's crazy. It may seem like big markets are being favored. Is it the most transparent process to even pick these draft picks? Probably not, right? But at the same time, just because you get number one pick does not mean the Spurs are going to win championship next year. Clearly,
you know what they should do? They should take. So they had the what was it? Was it 10? Yeah, 10. I watched a little bit yesterday before the game, and they had the 10 representatives from each team, right? Ben Wallace was there, and I had like Colin Sexton with the representative of the Jazz, and you have some of the owners or the whatever representative. They should just put a basketball hoop there, and you got to shoot free throws. And it's a free throw contest, and whoever wins, that's who gets the number one pick, or you get to choose where you want to pick. That's what they should do.
Oh yeah, yeah, well, that would be kind of cool. Like bring
that would be cool. Yeah,
I mean, like, and it at this point they're trying to discourage tanking. I mean, the Rockets tanked to try, and
the Pistons tanked too. Yeah.
Yeah. Now the draft I've heard, and I don't watch a lot of college basketball, but I heard the draft is actually pretty decent. Not just obviously Victor is the top guy, but I heard that there's actually some pretty good players. So even if they didn't get the first pick, that they should be able. And the Rockets are good. The Rockets has some young players. They got talent on that team.
They do, but
good coach.
They got a better coach now. We'll see, but they didn't get. I mean, everybody wanted Victor, so that was the golden goose, man. So
the bony ass goose.
You see, I've seen some stuff today. His feet. You ever seen a picture of his feet, bro? Like he's got like these feet that are like basically this big, and they're like, they look like you can snap them in half. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very, very strange.
We'll see. I want him to, play, do well. Obviously, get the rookie of the year, be healthy. Talk about Zion. I think Stephen A. Smith was like, well, the way John Morant is acting in Zion can't get on the field. Maybe RJ Barrett is the best player. I'm like, no, I think there's like a couple other really good players. If they're redrafted, I don't think RJ is in top 5 in that draft.
Yeah, I'd have to look. I don't know. I don't know. The 4th pick was Cam Reddish. He went to Atlanta, and he's not even doing anything now.
Yeah, he's all right. I'm gonna look at the draft class.
Pull it up if you can, because I feel like
I think there's some better players than and
he's in the top 10. He's in the top 10. But what did he go? Did he go 3?
No, he went 3.
2. He went 3. Yeah.
It's the next.
Pull up that draft class.
I'll pull it right now. Because I'm looking at Tyler Hero is better than RJ Barrett at this point.
Ooh, is he? Is he? I guess that's close. I think that's pretty close for me. But I think Tyler Hero.
I'd rather have.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good one.
Okay, so yeah. That's close. Darius Garland is better than
Darius Garland. Yeah,
he's better than RJ Barrett.
Yeah, I mean, he is.
But yeah, Rory. Well, no, he's not better than Rory, but he has potential.
He does.
He has potential. Kobe White. I think you like Kobe, right? No.
Yeah, I like him. I don't think he's better than RJ Barrett though.
Yeah. Tyler Hero. So that's about it. I don't know.
I think RJ Barrett is got picked where he should have got picked. I think right now it's about
Grant Williams. He's okay.
And he's a role player. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna find anybody else on here.
Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole's trash, dude. Yeah, he got a lot of money from the Warriors, but he's way up and down. Draymond Green knocked him out. He's never been the same. That's why he didn't recover from that at all.
Do you think they're going? You think that what are they going to do with Draymond?
You're going to keep him.
Steve Kerr said some.
He's
if he doesn't, I think he got all right. You paid Jordan Poole that money. You obviously value him more than Draymond.
You could trade him.
Those players probably don't get along. They'll never get along.
Probably not.
Them.
Draymond did just come out and apologize, saying he thought that that incident really affected the team's chemistry this year.
Yeah,
And like
of
he took
course.
responsibility for that. I thought that was good on him. But Draymond Green is more important to that team, in my opinion, overall than Jordan Poole. And I don't even think it's close.
Yeah.
Because Jordan Poole does things that 2 or 3 other guys in that team can do in similar ways. You can't replace what Draymond Green does.
Yeah.
So while I think there are times Draymond Green is a little overrated, for that team, he's a great fit because of what he does defensively, and he sets the tone on offense, and he's a vocal leader. So yeah, Jordan Poole. If I'm Steve Kerr, I can get some trade value for Jordan Poole. So
you would trade a young, he just got drafted 4 years ago.
Yep.
Draymond is how old is Draymond?
I don't know. He's probably 32, if I had to take a guess, maybe something like that.
So you would pay him too, because he wants his money. I
don't know about paying him, but if we're just talking who's more of a value to the team, I think Draymond Green's more value.
You demonstrate value by how much you pay for it. And Draymond is not looking for a discount. That's not his vibe, that's not his attitude.
True,
so you're gonna pay him top dollar?
Who had a better playoff series?
Draymond single-handedly was helping winning games. And
Jordan Poole
see right here, as a Warriors fan, Jordan was garbage. We lost that series because Poole didn't show up. I can't argue.
So he underplayed himself when he did last year. This year, even in the regular season, he did not play well, and I think if anything, he took that punch and he shouldn't have. Draymond Green already apologized. He did it. He did what he needed to do. I think Jordan Poole's still living in 9 months ago. And
I would still live. Listen, I'm with Jordan Poole on this one.
Okay. Well,
I'm probably just as sensitive. There's no way I'm gonna let you. There's no way I'm gonna let that slide. We're gonna be cool. I don't want you on the team. Get off the team. You pay me all this money. I'll play better. Get him off the team.
Jordan, Michael Jordan
sucker punch me.
He didn't sucker punch him. I wouldn't say. Ooh. Good night. Say good night, everybody. Say night, you two. Say
good night.
It's my white little baby. Here you go. Say good night. Love you. Good night. She looks nothing like me, but she has my attitude. She does. I know. Listen, Michael Jordan punched Steve Kerr. You're not getting rid of Michael Jordan. So is it just, like these things happen, man?
That is not a comparison that I don't understand. You think Draymond is up to Jordan?
No, I'm saying it happens. It happens. So you have to either get over it, get past it, do some therapy together, whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
Fight in the parking lot, or
definitely fight. Yeah.
Or you get traded or something. But the Warriors handled it about as best as they could. Draymond Green messed up. He admitted it. You're not going to go back in time. So Jordan Poole, do you want to play in Golden State? You want to figure it out, or are you going to go somewhere else?
I feel like Jordan Poole is like a sensitive dude, and if it's true, and we haven't investigated this, that he spent $500,000 on a date with Ice Spice. If that is true, he's a guy that's too sensitive to let it go. If you spending that much money on a woman,
might be
that
and that woman, I could find that woman in my local grocery store in St. Louis. So I don't even understand why
you didn't show me. Wait, what?
Yeah,
I was there.
She looks like a St. Louis chick all day long, but that's just me. Breaking news: Miami Heat's going to beat the Boston Celtics. So just throwing that out there.
You know what?
8 points. I don't know what's going on in Miami, but those guys.
I don't know. I don't know either. I mean, I don't want to go crazy because even with the Denver stuff, I know it's fun to kind of throw around.
It's one game.
Every game is like a whole different world, right? Because right now, like the next game, the Lakers may blow out the Nuggets. You don't know, right? So, nothing's started. Nova Dash, what's up? He said Heat are stealing. I don't know if they stole it. The game was competitive until we started the show.
Jimmy Butler. What Jimmy Butler had? Jimmy Butler's got 34, 12 for 25. Made half his shots. And Jason Tatum's got 29. So 10 for 10 free throws. Rebounds, assists. Jimmy Butler was the best player on the court tonight. And usually the best player on the court typically will lead that team to a victory in the NBA. Usually,
Jimmy Butler is he's an enigma, and the reason why I say that, how many teams of a man of his talent he's been on? Yeah. So he's like so good, yet he is so annoying and hard to deal with. And I think maybe seemed like Heat is his place to be.
Well, maybe he
Like
found the right coach. He found a good
yeah,
fit.
he was on the Wolves. He was in Chicago. He
Yeah.
was on the 76ers. And Joel is just punching the air right
Dude,
now.
they decided to give
And he wanted him.
Tobias Harris, good basketball player.
Not
They decided to give him money and let Jimmy Butler walk. Let me tell you something right now. If Jimmy Butler and Joel Embiid continue to be playing, the 76ers are going to the finals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the 76ers screwed that up big time.
It must be again the whole Jimmy has attitude. Jimmy is hard to do. It had to be a little bit of that, but damn, he's been in too many teams. And I am happy that I think Miami is his space. But man, I tell you, man, it's special what he's doing. Oh, and it's playoff Jimmy.
It's playoff Jimmy. Yeah.
This is where he puts he shows how he's one of the best players in the NBA. Regardless of all, and remember, I think was it this season he was fighting, arguing with his with fellow team members on the bench early in the season. I mean, he was arguing with the guy what's that old man? What's his name?
Haslam. Haslam. Yeah.
Talking about he's gonna beat his. I'm like,
but that happens though. Like that, for me, if anything, you want a player that's going to be a little fiery, as long as it's controlled and you're not punching people like Draymond Green. That's extreme, right?
Yeah.
Like you want that. It's okay. You got to understand, like for any of you guys that grown up with like brothers or something, you're gonna fight with your brother. Like you're gonna have back and forth. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You're gonna say things like there's just competitive fire there, and that's okay. And if anything, sometimes you look at certain other players that look too passive, and it's like, why aren't you more like this other guy? You know what I'm saying? Like you either gonna, you have to.
DeAndre Ayton,
exactly. Like, come on, man.
I think they're trying to move him too from the Suns.
He's got to go.
He don't love playing basketball, and it's pretty. You can look at him. He's tall. He's like, hey, you tall, man, and you're athletic, and you've done this for a while, and you're making so much money. Where else are you going to be in the world where you can make that much money? Yeah. I think Gilbert Arenas was talking about it. Like, there are many players in the league who do not love playing basketball. I think I even heard about this in the NFL. Like, there's people out there that look at it as a job. The way we look at it, we doing gig work, or we're looking at working at a restaurant. Especially if you're really, really good at it, you make a lot of money, but it's a 9-to-5 type feel. Like, oh yeah, I gotta train, I gotta do this, but they don't have that passion, like Jimmy Butler passion for basketball, or even a Kevin Durant. Like, it don't matter what, he loves to play basketball. There's some people just like, yeah, it's cool. Ben Simmons,
that guy,
extremely talented, just has all the talent in the world, can't be bothered to learn how to, shoot a shot. John Morant, I know he's getting a lot of nonsense right now. He may be suspended. When he came out of college, he couldn't shoot three-pointer at all. And he went and damn near one summer, like most improved player. Like, that's passion and dedication because he loves the game. So there's many players out there that don't have the same passion as the fans do. Yeah. But that's people. Like, some people have it and some people don't.
Well, and some people get money. They have the passion just to get the bag. And you know what I'm saying? They get the money and say, I'm good now. I got my money. I'm comfortable. Others, like Jason Tatum, I use the St. Louis kid as an example. Went to Chaminade, a really prestigious school in St. Louis, goes to Duke 1 year. Obviously, Duke's one of the best programs ever in college. 1 year, then he gets drafted, goes to Celtics, and he's had good success. But every year he's gotten a little bit better, get to the finals, don't play great, but okay, I'm going to come back. He's also a really skinny kid. He's put weight on. He works out. He works out like crazy. He's married. He's got a kid. Like, he's doing it the right way. Like, his life right now is basketball. Like, Giannis is similar in that regard. Like,
definitely Giannis. Yeah,
their life is basketball. They say, hey, I'm going to do this for 15 years. I'm going to do everything I can to max out my talent, max out what I got. Right. Yeah. And other guys they choose not to do that. Ben Simmons is he's gifted. He can do everything on the court besides shoot. You don't mean to tell me if he can't get with somebody and take a summer, don't go on a vacation, just spend 3 months in the gym, he would get better. He would get better. Yeah. He would get better, but he's deciding not to do that. He's making a choice to not do that. So
you can't force it. You can't force that kind of dedication and passion, because it's hard. It's hard to do it. I mean, we make fun of the bench players and all that stuff, but these people are the greatest basketball in the world.
Yep.
And you can't really so it's hard, but we'll see. We already see that the Heat got game 1, Lakers got game 1 as well, so we'll see what's going on. Really good, excited stuff. But before we end it, I do want to talk a little bit about the Cleopatra stuff.
Let's get into it.
Did you? I mean, we get a chance. I want you to check it out and give me a review of it. Reviews are not going. It's not really good for it.
You say it's on Netflix. It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
Is it a movie or is it like a docu-series? Like different parts?
It's a dramatic documentary. So there's an actress. They're acting out roles.
Okay,
Cleopatra, Caesar, that whole thing.
Got it.
And it's a part of a series called Black Queens. The executive producer is Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith's.
Listen, I got to be honest with you. It sounds horrible already.
Yeah,
everything that you just said, it sounds like I would not fucking watch that show at all. It's probably gonna put me to sleep. But
but a lot of people are all up in arms, especially the Egyptians. So okay, the main criticism against Queen Cleopatra is the show's portrayal of Cleopatra as a Black woman. This is seen as basically a distortion of historical facts, right? Cleopatra is basically of Greek heritage, Macedonian Greek heritage. So it's not her being, I guess we call like dark-skinned subsaharan kind of black, like the black that you'll think of in terms of I guess the color of the skin or whatever. And people are mad, right? And the director fired back and said, if you don't like this, why Jenny Pickett Smith and them in that group, why can Cleopatra be a sister? This is part of the white supremacy, blah 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 blah, that we even arguing, and we can this should just happen. You should have her be Black, and why are you complaining about it? So if you go on YouTube, people are trashing it, and also it's terribly acted. Apparently, it's bad in all levels, but it's just this fight over how she should look, and it's interesting, right? Because I guess the problem is that right now it's having one of the lowest ratings on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm gonna look it up right now. I want to see I want to see the actress. I want to see where she's.
Netflix is not even they're not even promoting the show anymore. People are not really watching. Yeah, it's been really
television miniseries. Hold on, is it? Yeah, let me see something. But there's been several. So obviously Elizabeth Taylor, a white lady, right? Played it in 1963, whatever. And Cleopatra's been several different people that have played it. And I'm looking at this, and there's all these women. Some of them look tan, some of them don't. Some of them look, there's one even back in 1999. So this is 20 something years ago. But let me look at Netflix. I'm just curious to see.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, I see. Okay, see, look. Okay, Netflix Queen controversy explained. Oh, okay. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
I think the problem is it got political.
2% audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Wow.
Yeah, they review bombed the show. This stuff. The problem is it's the whole political narrative of, well, are you trying to rewrite history to fit your own narrative? Are you trying to appropriate? See, that's a problem with the whole appropriating culture nonsense. Because now, as most people who kept fighting about that were liberal, leftists. Now it's flipped back around. Where before, and I'm on everything's appropriate. We appropriate everything. I don't, it doesn't make any sense to me. But when you do that, when you say appropriating culture is bad, it's racist, it's the white supremacy. Okay, well you can't take a figure that is not Black and make her Black, because you're basically perpetuating the same thing that you criticize other.
Yeah, it's a little hypocritical.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember, at least I thought, that there was heat back in the day for Elizabeth Taylor playing Cleopatra, because some people thought Cleopatra should have been. But I don't. It's interesting, man. I feel like we're going in an area of people want representation, right? They want to even it out, right? They want to even things up, and And I think the one thing that is always interesting to me is these are actors and these are actresses and actors. Right. This is somebody making a movie, right? So because it's drama, right? Even if it's in a historical context, it's still it's a show,
right?
It's not real life right now, right? So does it really matter who's playing the person? Should it just be the person that's best for the role? Because I think if this woman that's playing Cleopatra, if the acting's bad, like you're saying, or the writing's not good, yeah, people aren't going to watch. They're going to trash it. But if
Yeah.
it's somebody that acts really well and they can portray the emotion, doesn't matter if it's a white person, a black lady, doesn't matter
Yeah.
if they're Puerto Rican. I don't know. Does it have to be historically accurate? Because if that's the case, there's been thousands of movies that have been made that with a lot of historical inaccuracies, right?
Right.
You know, Mel Gibson made The Passion of the Christ. A white man played Jesus. Like,
I've never
you know
seen
what I'm
that.
saying?
I've never seen that movie. Have you seen that?
I actually watched some of it. I didn't watch the whole movie the whole way through, but I did see
Yeah.
some of it. It was a big hit. I mean, they made
Yeah, I made a lot
billions
of
of
money.
dollars.
I just felt like it was
Yeah.
just if it followed what I thought, I'm like, why am I watching this?
Yeah,
This is a
right.
guy
Because
getting his ass
it's
kicked inside. Like,
there's a 45 minutes of that probably. Yeah. So,
yeah.
but like, well, where's the outrage there, right? Like, Jesus
There
wasn't a
was
white dude, but
there
a
was
white
there
man
was
played Jesus. So, like, I don't know.
there's
It's weird.
always there was always some criticism underlying it.
Yeah.
I think now it's blown up now, and the right wants to fight back. So anything now is, well, you're appropriate, and apparently a lot of Egyptians are pissed off about this. Who knows? Apparently, a professor is suing who I don't know to say how it's misrepresenting. Like, I think the problem is when you open that door up.
Yeah.
So, like, if someone made an example, so if Brad Pitt played Martin Luther King, is that okay? Like, is that cool? If he's the best
Listen,
actor
I'll
for
say
the
it right.
role,
I'll say it right now. No, it's not. I'll go on the limb. You can say whatever, cancel me. Brad Pitt playing Martin Luther King Jr. would be stupid. It'd be stupid, right? I mean, it would. But
yes,
like, so it's
but
weird.
that's the extreme. Is to
That's the
saying
extreme part.
then why would you have Cleopatra being? But that's a problem, right?
Yeah.
It should be the best actor. Just do it. But no, that you want.
Well, okay, but
something-
should it be? Should it be? Because okay, you could say Will Smith, Denzel, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Okay, if Daniel
Christopher
Day-Lewis
Walken.
wanted to be,
So if Daniel Day-Lewis, I bet he could fucking play Martin Luther King Jr.
oh yeah, bro.
But he shouldn't. He shouldn't.
he probably
That
would not take that role.
role, listen,
wouldn't take
that
that
role should go to a black man because of the historical relevance, right? So
Yeah.
I think there are certain roles that you have to keep accurate. I believe so, at least. But
There's limits to this
there's
craziness.
yeah, there's
So
limits.
Nova Dasher brought out one of my favorite movies. I saw Tropic Thunder in the theater.
Did you really? That's such a good movie.
Yeah. At the
Yeah.
time, I think my girl was working at the AMC. I think it was like
Yeah.
because we were able to get to watch some movies for free. That movie still today at that time it's fucking hilarious.
Listen,
and
that's the
Robert Downey
best.
Jr. You cannot do that. He didn't. First of
No.
all, he didn't want to do it.
No.
He was scared to do it, and it kept pushing him to do it.
Yeah.
Like,
And he did it good.
and he sounded like a black, like he sounded like a stereotypical.
He looked
black
like a
man.
black dude too.
He looked
kinda,
like he
you
was
know what I mean?
in
The way they did it,
blackface,
yeah.
which you can't do blackface now, right?
Yeah.
That's racist.
Well,
And
but you know, it was comedy. So when you're talking comedy, some things, and at least for me, and I think socially, are forgiven because it's not, there's no historical context. It's not supposed to be drama or reality. It's comedy. That movie was comedy. They had Tom Cruise, at that point, one of the biggest movie stars in the world, in a fat suit with a bald head and gold chains. Like, it's comedy.
it was
You know what I'm saying?
basically portraying a Jewish dude. Like it was so many offensive things. It was offensive. I mean, they had Ben Stiller, that Simple Jack, talk about don't go full retard. Like, you cannot make a movie.
Yeah.
They would make canceled 3-4 times. You can't make that movie. I think that's
that
why
movie's so funny, man.
comedies have suffered. What name the last great comedy?
Oh, that's a good question, man.
Hangover?
Hangovers are really good. And there's a lot of questionable things in a Hangover.
It was questioning Hangover. You can't make that.
Zach Galifianakis says the N-word, I think, a few times in that movie. Right? So, and that wouldn't happen in today's. A white man would not say the N-word in 2023.
Yeah, we've become so sensitive to it that comedy has suffered. And the only ones who are holding it are stand-up comedians who are willing to stand up for it, right?
Yeah.
There's no good comedies anymore. Because you can't offend. I mean, a part of comedy is being a little offensive. So that's why now when you see Cleopatra, and back in the day, like, all right, she's black, whatever. But now the right wants to fight back and say, you can't do this because, well, then we'll do something. We'll talk about Martin Luther King and what white guy could play Martin Luther King. Like you said, that'll be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right? So I
Well,
think that's the
I think
problem.
that, you know, the problem is everything's gotten so, and it's been like this. I think we have to understand the context of our time and our age and what's relevant. You know, you can go look back in history, and not a lot has changed, but it does seem like there's this great divide. You got the left, the right,
Right,
and
right,
people will then say it's black and it's white, which is not always true. Okay, but that's what the news will tell you, right? But everybody's so divided, but not realizing that everybody's very pretty much the same. Like we have more in common than we don't, right?
right.
So you have all these people that are like, oh, Bud Light, I'm mad at Bud Light, and oh my God, Little Mermaid changed, and look at Cleopatra, and blah blah blah. And they're broke and they're miserable. And then you have the other side, broke and miserable too, right? It's like everybody's fighting and they're so angry. The ones that get so angry, they're angry because they're miserable.
Right.
So there's more in common there. And I think a lot of people just need to like take the ego and pride down a level and just realize like, hey, we have more in common, right? And like you have these what I call the machines. They want to just pin us against each other all the time.
That's
And I
what
think
I was gonna mention. That
I think there are a lot of bad people here. Like racism is a thing. It's alive and well in 2023. Unfortunately, it is. It's never going to go away. I think some things have gotten better and some things haven't, right? But like we're not going to ever like if you allow the machine to continue to just feed you information and you don't self-educate yourself, you're never going to improve your situation. You're just going to stay mad
right,
versus just realizing things, you know? So I
right.
don't know.
That's a good point. By the machine, the reason why it's so effective and why we fight back, we're fighting each other. Men and women are fighting each other. I mean, look on YouTube, the Red Pill, the Manosphere, content creators and media, and I've put content creators in this too. They play on our anger, right? I mean,
Oh,
you already,
even
you
the
already know
popular
what's
ones. Yeah,
effective
yeah.
to like Cleopatra. Look it up. People, content creators can get you really worked up over it.
Mhm.
Certain cartoons, Velma apparently. Well, Velma, her was really bad, and it was too woke, and it was too nonsense. That first. So I think, when you, like you said, you take what we say, which all of us, all 10 of us are sitting here right now. You take what we say way too seriously, and you go out in the world and
Yeah.
regurgitate what we say. That's not how you should do it. You should look at what we say, look at something that disagrees with what we say,
Mhm.
form that, let that cook in your mind, and then that's how I do it. I look at things I agree with, things I don't,
Yeah, me
kind
too.
of put my
Yeah.
own mind, and then I move on with my day. I
Like I
don't just
can't just watch like people that I usually think I'll agree with because then I'm not going to educate myself about somebody else's perspective.
right.
And nobody knows everything and nobody's always right because we all have different lives, different perspectives, different moral values, different whatever, belief systems, right? So I can't just sit and listen to Trevor Noah. I'm a big Trevor Noah fan. I like Trevor Noah. I
Yes.
can't just listen just to Trevor Noah. I sometimes have to listen to Matt Walsh and Ben Shapiro
Yes.
because I have to understand, you have to
Yeah.
understand, you have to understand that there's a little bit of right on all sides,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
and so I think that's very, I'm agreeing with what you're saying. So
Yeah, I think, and it was nice that the person that's speaking. That's why I do when I watch, or like, talk about Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh. They're not saying we are unbiased. They let you know we're conservative.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
why I love YouTube, because you go to people who are clearly saying I'm liberal. There isn't a bullshit fair and balanced nonsense that's happening in other channels where they're not
yeah,
fair and balanced. There's an agenda there, but they don't want to tell you. Make it seem
yeah.
like they're on the fence. They're not on the fence. We know
Yeah.
what's going on. We're not stupid. So, but yeah, I'm gonna try to watch it this weekend. I'm gonna sit, or at least have it playing in the background,
I don't
because I
know if I
heard
can. I don't know
it's
if I can. I don't know if I
poorly done. That's the problem. It's again just like we were talking about. I can deal with agenda being pushed in my face or a narrative, but if it's
Mhm.
not good,
Yeah.
then it just makes you even more mad, because you
Yeah.
spend all that time doing the narrative shit. Maybe you should have made a good show. Put
Yeah.
that energy there. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna watch it this weekend. I think I probably have some time to do nothing. I'm probably
You
gonna
could
have it
give me
all.
the cliff notes, man. You can give
Well,
give
you
me the
already know the
cliff.
story of Cleopatra, so you're good. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
apparently she didn't go under the rug, or because remember, she was supposed to be snuck in.
Yeah.
Apparently she didn't snuck that way in, because it probably didn't look at empowering. Because remember, the woman is supposed to
Women
be,
empowerment.
yeah,
We
they changed that part too.
we need to do a podcast on because listen, and I'll probably offend some people, and
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. But like I feel like we've had this, and I feel like I've said it before. Cosmetology, what's the magazine?
Yeah. Cosmopolitan. Yeah.
Screwed with women says for 15-20 year run there, they
Yeah.
fucked up women. I'm telling you, that's my opinion. I've talked to women about it that I value. They really screwed up a whole generation, half generation of women in our society. I believe that.
We
That's
gotta
what I
break that
believe.
down. I think
You
usually
should
when
break it down.
it's
Yeah.
hard, I've heard this, and it's pretty true. It's difficult to find good advice on how to talk to women or date women from women, unless they're super honest with you, and very
Facts.
few are.
Yep.
I think your family, your female members of your family will not lie to you. But if you try to go to like a non-related female friend that acts, they won't like they try and talk to you about the idealistic way,
Yeah.
but not real. The real.
Yeah.
No, like no, she's playing you.
It was always funny to me that women would get advice from another woman that's single.
No.
But they won't take advice, and they look down on a woman that's married with a kid and running a household.
Yeah, a little older.
They look at that like, oh, how your man's running. What the fuck, really?
Yeah,
that's what you want though. You want to be married, but you don't. You want to be married a certain way. It doesn't make any sense.
It's very confusing. But yeah, we're gonna definitely have a conversation about that. But before we end it, I just want to bring this up really quick. Jack Harlow isn't a real MC. It's been a week. It's been a week. And yes,
no, you were giving him flowers for taking his shirt off in the alley 2 weeks ago, and now you're like,
what? I liked his album. We both did. We thought it was pretty a good rebound over last two. Last two, it was very mid. This one, he brought him back to himself. But MGK threw out the first shot. Where is the diss record? Where's the response?
Yeah.
I think he thought, I don't need to, because who's that guy? I'm sure that's what he's thinking. I'm doing this movie, and no.
MGK is a bigger star than Jack Harlow, though. Wouldn't you say?
We mean in terms of rapping.
Well, I'm saying just a star overall. I think MGK is a bigger star than.
Yeah, but this is Jack Harlow's time right now. He got the movie out. He got the decent album that came out. But as a true MC, you got called out. Where is the track? Like, where is the response?
Yeah,
is it going to come to the weekend?
Isn't that what we do in hip hop? We respond.
You got to respond.
Tracks, you got to respond, and when you don't respond, you look weak.
If you're following Drake, which we all think you are, because you're trying to follow Drake, Drake responded.
He responds well most of the time. So yeah.
So I'm sure he has the Drake poster in his wall somewhere in his house. And yeah, Nova Dasha. Clearly, where is the response track?
Yeah.
If he doesn't, then you're just a pop rapper. You're Pitbull in Florida, and
he is. But he is.
That's what it'll demonstrate. If you don't come back with something, it shows me that you're not a real MC, which is fine. Like you can make your music, you could do your little pop rap, but that dude do some accusations out there that you just following Drake, and you're not really into this. And this dude has fingernail paint. He does punk rock.
Yeah,
and he's out
rapping, wears makeup, and
and he out rapping you. Like, I just wanted to mention it. I'm a little disappointed in Jack Harlow. I thought he would have say something. But you got listen, not just talk. You got to make a rap. You got to make a disappointment.
Should we be disappointed by Jack Harlow? I'm not, because I know what I get.
But
if somebody calls out Nasir Jones, if Jay-Z makes a diss album or diss record about Nas and Nas don't say nothing, I'm probably very, very upset, right? Because I expect the GOAT to come out and say,
definitely with Jay-Z.
I don't expect much from Jack Harlow. So
there's actually I didn't send this to you. There was a Nas YouTube short. It was just short, just popping. He said that there's other rappers were going after him at this time, and he said, why you didn't respond to them? But he's like, just paraphrasing.
Yeah,
they haven't done enough.
Well,
so he basically was saying why I respond to Jay-Z, but I'm not gonna respond to A, B, C rapper.
Well, no, I agree. You can't do
if you don't did what I did at this point. If you didn't sell out this and you didn't do that, no, I'm not gonna respond to you.
But MGK is somebody that's done things.
Yes,
so
he is equal.
He warrants a response, right?
Yes,
but yeah, I'm not gonna respond to somebody that I feel like is insignificant or hasn't lived up to, hasn't done what I did. But so Nas is right. But MGK's hip hop, he's done other music. He was fucking Megan Fox. Like, you got to respond to MGK.
You got to respond to
you got to respond to him. So,
but I agree. I agree with Nova Dash. I think MGK's coming out with a rap album later this year and using the ciphers probably. And
It's probably going to be a good album.
I don't mess with it. Yeah, MGK, he has some good stuff. Not off the top of my head like some classics or anything, but the dude's talented.
Yeah.
And Jack Harlow all right. He didn't disappoint Pedro because Pedro don't have a lot of not to even think of, or in terms of he didn't expect much from this man. No. But I'm like, come on, Jack, throw in a corny rap this thing, do something, dance a little bit. I don't know, but that's just my thoughts about that. But I don't know. We'll see. So Pedro's promising a Game 2 victory from the Lakers.
And the Celtics. Both of my teams lost Game 1. So most of my predictions aren't looking great. I'm standing by my predictions. Celtics, Lakers in the NBA Finals.
It's going to be amazing. All right. So just a little guess. How many points do you think LeBron is going to have? Is he going to have over 25 points?
Yes, over 25, but he's not going to go crazy. He hasn't gone crazy in a while. Yeah, he's going to get over his average or right about that. Absolutely. The deciding factor is going to be AD, because AD in the playoffs this year hasn't had a good. He usually has a really good game, and then his next game is just and he just had a monster game, 40 points in the play. I mean, that's 40-point piece in the playoffs. It's a really, really.
Yeah, he showed up. Game. He showed
and
up.
He blocking shots and doing. He showed up. Free throws, timely buckets. So it's going to be. AD's also going to have at least 25 or so, and Austin Reeves is going to have to put 20 up. D'Angelo Russell is going to have to do something, but he might not play because if they play the Rue kid or if they play Vanderbilt more to play more defense, he might not even get the points.
Yep, yeah.
Dennis Schroeder is going to have about at least 15, 16.
Rebounds, rebounds. Rui I think he needs to get more time. If he get more of those rebounds, can't have Joker get the rebound. He's gonna run the court. He'll pass it to somebody to score. So it's gonna be a good game. We'll see. If they lose, then Pedro will have to explain to the audience.
Well, just listen. If it happens, we'll cancel the podcast and I'll go in hiding until the finals are done. So
then what am I gonna do on my Monday nights? Like and my Wednesday, I got nothing. I got nothing.
Watch Cleopatra on live stream Cleopatra or something, I guess.
I mean, she's cute, but she can't act, so we'll see. But I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna give my review on Monday. So, all right, guys, have a good weekend. Be safe out there. We'll see you guys on Monday.
Peace.